Something to buy, da ba da bug, yeah. Da ba da bum ba buy, da ba buy, da buy, da ba buy, yeah. Set the potato, da buy, da da. Boy, yeah. Boy, yeah. Sunlight that always stays. Dinner by the waterway. It's that sweet life. Raise your cross. Made some dude crack a smile. He asked if I could stay a while. I'm living that high life. Time to catch a flight, but you can make me go. Unlocking all the memories. Something to buy, da ba da bug, yeah. Da ba da bum ba buy, da ba buy, da ba.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good night. This is Just Stop It. Welcome to the Just Stop It show with yours truly, the Grand Queen in the house tonight. We're glad you came and you stopped by with us tonight. We've got a good one for you tonight and more. Hope you've had a good week. Hope you anticipate having an even better week. If not, don't worry about it. You'll get to it, get with it, get through it. Right? So we're excited tonight. This is our last week of January, should I say. This is our last Sunday in January. And we've had a lot going on, but we made it. Right? So again, this is the Just Stop It show. Welcome all and welcome those who are passing through. And listen, don't hesitate to stop by. Don't hesitate. Those of you riding your car, walking, talking, having dinner, or just having a burger fries chat, don't hesitate to stop by, to pass through. And we've got our hot spots of the show tonight. Our oh so opulent Shannon Grace Chappelle in the house tonight, our co-host. There she is.
Hello.
There
hello,
she
hello,
is.
everyone.
There
hello.
she is. And we've got our Trey Wiz in the house tonight, our very own media producer, Trey Wiz in the house. Right? There he is. All right. And
Hello,
we've
everybody.
got our hot spot, our guest tonight. Listen, our brother, our friend, our brother from another mother, our son, whatever. He is more than just a friend. He's more than just a poet. He is about advocating for good mental health, equal opportunities and good mental health, putting it down tonight, sharing his journey with us and more. We got the poet in the house. The poet has spoken in the house. And listen, it is going to be phenomenal. So as we get to it, get through it, get with it. Listen, don't forget, be mindful. We are not a medical facility. We're not a medical advisory board. We are advocates for good mental health. We're counselors. We're helping people to find out how to change the narrative and how mental health is discussed. This is what we do and more. And so, listen again, I'm going to turn it over to the opulent one, right? She's got something else to share with you tonight, another hot spot in this show, and she going to put it down to you. So again, don't forget, Again, we are not a medical facility. We do not hand out medical advice, but we do share the links that are necessary for you to live by and maintain good mental health and more. Right? There it is,
Yes.
Shannon. There it is,
Yes. Thank you,
opulent
Grand
one.
Queen. Thank you, Grand Queen. You have a treat tonight, folks. Not only is he a poet, he is a creative. He is the president of the Galaxy of Poets, founder, friend, brother, all of that stuff. And we are lucky to have him here tonight to discuss his story, to join us, and to tell us about the Galaxy. Um, I met Poet through Facebook about 3 years ago in the infancy of the Galaxy of Poets when he was in the process of forming it, and I joined as a member. But I can definitely tell you, as a member, I was not only there to be a member, I was there to be a friend to many, and many has been a friend to me. And I can definitely tell you, as far as mental health advocacy goes, this is the person, him and his team, the vice president, the treasurer, the members, as a collective, they all get together and they, strive for the mission of maintaining good mental health. They also strive to make sure that they provide a platform, a safe space for people to come and vent through a creative way, especially. But I'm going to tell you, this is the place to be. Not only do they have the check-ins, they also have other amazing shows that you can attend and you can just sit there and have fun and vibe. It's wonderful. I love the team. I love Poet, and I cannot express more what he means to me as a friend and as a fellow creative. I do appreciate him. I appreciate him being here today with us, taking time out of his schedule, and just having a good discussion with us. So, without further ado, the incomparable, the poet has spoken of the Galaxy of Poets. Hey.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, how you doing? How you doing? I'm so glad that you're here.
I'm doing good. I'm doing wonderful. It's been a good day, except for the Ravens
Yes.
losing, but I'll
Oh,
get over it.
man, I'm telling you, it's always something, isn't it? Always
Absolutely.
something.
But it's all good.
Yep, I definitely am so happy that you were here. Not only as my friend, but another creative, and I'm excited right now. I'm a little nervous, and I'm excited at the same time
Oh
that
man, you
that you're
built for
that
this.
you're here, that you are here, and that you're gonna share such good information for us. So the first thing that I would definitely like to ask, and getting to know you and who the poet has spoken, excuse me, is. As a person, what's your story? How did the Galaxy of Poets come into development? Where are you now? I want to know all that. So I'm going to go ahead
you,
and I'm going to
you
give you
you want the
all
tea?
of that. I
The
want the
scoop.
tea. I want the
Oh
tea. Don't
man,
hold back.
how
So
many
I'm going to go
minutes
That's
we
ahead,
gotta
right.
get?
Yes,
poet.
we do.
How
We
many
want to hear
minutes
it
we gotta
all.
get? Because this might take a couple of episodes.
What?
Oh,
That's
yes,
all
Hey,
we
right now.
anticipate that. That's all right.
hey,
We gonna
it's
do the
we anticipate
series.
that. It's for you.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to go ahead, poet, and we're going to give you the floor right now. Take it away.
So first and foremost, I'm a proud father of 14. I can't say 13 anymore because
Yeah.
my baby girl that passed when she was only 5 months old,
Oh,
she
wow.
definitely counts as the number two. So it's actually 14. It's 12 of them that's living. Uh, a son, a brother, a cousin, a friend, and of course the CEO, president. Most importantly, a poet, spoken word artist, because through our poetry, we speak for those that don't speak for themselves. So that is me in a
Absolutely.
nutshell.
Yeah.
I love performing, but my main passion is writing, just writing. Period.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's if I could sit in a room and get paid to do that, I would do that forever. Novels, movies, plays, anything that you could think of that you can do with writing. That is
Yes.
definitely my passion.
Yeah,
And
that's
the
what's
Absolutely.
up.
galaxy, the
That's what's
galaxy,
up. Welcome.
I the galaxy
Welcome.
actually came about because of trauma. I was in a bad marriage,
Mm.
abusive marriage, but not coming from my side. And when I left, I was staying in a hotel, and it was just anybody that ever stayed in a hotel, you know that there's always some type of sound, right?
Indeed.
There was no sound. Like everything was completely still. And I could hear a voice telling me to pick up my pen and do my poetry again. So at first it started out as a Facebook group. Uh Started out with one member, then another one, another one, another one. I think right now we got like 1.1 thousand.
That's what's
Hmm.
up.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, on the in
That's
the
what's up.
Facebook group. But the
Great.
mission was always to take it from Facebook on social media and bring it into the real world where we can actually
Yeah.
do some work. And I mean, people will tell you, as
Hmm.
we call Miss Gray Mama G. She gonna be Mama G forever.
That part.
Absolutely.
That part.
But
You
she
gonna say
will
that
tell
part? You
you
gonna say
like
that?
I would go in people DMs. I would go into their messengers, let them know what my vision
Hmm.
was, and people just started attaching themselves to the vision. Um,
Hmm.
Even some of my children are a part of it. They left for a little while. Well, they'll say that I kicked them out, but I know
Wow.
that's. But I didn't
Yeah.
kick them. I didn't
Mhm.
kick them out. I wanted them.
Yeah.
They were in college. They're in college, and I
Hmm.
wanted them to focus on college and not
Understood.
attempt to focus
Yeah.
on this mission. Get what you want to be in life so you will have a foundation. And I told them that their seat, that they will always be able to come back and reclaim their seat.
Yeah.
And they
Right.
actually did that earlier this month. So they're actually back in
Oh,
the fold
cool.
of the galaxy, which
Absolutely. That's
Cool.
great.
so it's not just it is actually a family that is running a business. And I
Yeah.
could not do it with the people that she mentioned that's on my team. I couldn't do it without them. Those that have come and gone, even when Mama G is not a member of the galaxy, so to speak, any longer. But this opportunity wouldn't have came about if me and her didn't have that connection. So anybody that is no longer in the fold of the galaxy, you still a galaxy member. You still galaxy
Yeah.
family because the galaxy is for everybody, even if you're not uh what is, quote unquote a member.
Hmm.
The mission is to bring healthy mental health to everyone. And that's what the galaxy does.
Exactly.
I wanted to let you know real quick, poet, that you have two of your people right behind you in the comment section. Miss Myra, I see you in there. She said
Yeah.
the galaxy is in the building. Shout out to Miss Myra,
Hey,
and
That's
also
what's
Miss
up.
Mara.
Nicole Renee. That's what's up. Also Miss Nicole. Hey, Miss Nicole. She said, "I love you
Yeah.
always, Father of mine."
All
Love
right.
you
So
All
I
too,
just want
right.
to let
Nicole.
you know they in here watching you. Wanted to let you know
Absolutely.
they in
Thank
here
you,
watching you.
family.
Thank y'all
I
for
like
Yes.
that.
stopping by.
I
Thank you,
appreciate that.
family. That's
Thank you
awesome.
so
Wow.
much. Thank you
Wow.
so much.
Absolutely.
What
My
would you say was
God.
one of your biggest trials and tribulations on this journey when it comes to deciphering who's real and who's not? Because as you know, when you're trying to build anything, there are a lot of naysayers. There are a lot of people who
Whew.
pretend to be a part of what it is that,
Hmm.
they pretend to be all about it until stuff gets rough, things go left. So what was that journey like for you? Let me ask you that.
To be all the way 1,000.
That's what we want.
The busy,
Yeah.
the biggest obstacle has been myself
Mm,
Yeah.
didn't
because
we? Mm,
Yeah.
everybody is for a season. Sometimes there are going to be people that come in your life that's here for all 4 seasons, but
Right.
sometimes it's people's responsibility to only be there for a certain season.
that part.
So I
Yeah.
always believe that everything happens for a reason. So even if someone comes and goes, I don't. It used to bother me. But even with this connection right here, we see that even though that they have gone on a different journey, we still are connected on the same journey.
Indeed.
So I had to, I say this all the time to people, but I had to learn this myself first. There's no feelings in business.
All
That part.
right.
Um,
Oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
if
That part.
if
definitely.
we're
Mm-hmm.
gonna be on a
Yeah.
mission, it doesn't matter if it's you guys' platform, if it's the Galaxy, if it's Sam in California, if it's this person in Texas, that person in Philly. As long as we all bringing something to the table that is going to help and benefit those that deal with mental health in a negative way, then we
Mhm.
all a part of the same team.
Hey, Miss Cheryl.
Absolutely.
You got a
Yeah.
Miss Cheryl
Yes,
Riley in here
sir.
as a supporter member. She said, "Ride or die, Galaxy forever."
All right.
And
All
that
right.
Absolutely,
that
Yeah,
she
that
absolutely.
is.
part. So
All
I just
right.
want to
I,
let you know as they
I,
coming in. I want to let you know who's viewing and stopping by to see you.
I
All right
appreciate
now,
that.
fam.
well, I definitely have a question, poet. Let
Oh,
me raise my hand. Let me get a
Let's
church
go.
finger.
All right. Church finger.
Well, actually,
Hey.
I probably have two questions. What would you say you're the most proud of in as far as the development and the things that the Galaxy is doing in the very beginning versus where, well, I mean, I guess in comparison versus how you are now? Because clearly, if you go onto the Galaxy's page and you see what you're doing, you see what the Galaxy is doing, it's growing more and more each month. Opportunities. So what are you the most proud of as far as that?
The fact that people took the vision
Hmm.
and ran with it along with me. As you
All
know,
right.
and I'll share it with everybody that don't know, the Galaxy represents my son that was murdered. And
Hmm.
this is a way to keep his memory alive in a good way
Yeah.
where we are helping people in his name.
Hmm.
Absolutely.
So for people to take that and actually, take it on as, you know what, this is that important. I'm gonna rock with it. I'm gonna do the best that I can, and I couldn't be no prouder, but that to those that helped me keep his memory alive.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And I think all of us, the people that have, mental health struggles,
Hmm.
sometimes the ones that we don't check on are the ones that need to be checked on the most, right?
Those so-called strong friends.
The strong friends, because
Yeah.
you see a mask and you see something else that they may have had it all together on the outside, but you never know who's struggling, and it's really an issue with bringing mental health awareness out and those things in the African American community.
Oh,
Too,
most
we don't
definitely.
talk about certain things. We just
Yeah.
don't. And sometimes the
Yeah.
older generations really don't talk about it. You kept it, the phrases, you kept it in the family. Whatever goes on in this house, stay in this house, and
Wow.
that
Hmm.
type of thing. So, do you see a lot of people coming to the platform to vent, to come to a mental health check in? Do you see that may possibly be the case? That they don't have
So
any other place to vent but that platform? Does it help?
so so it's been many times myself, Ty, Myra, many other people of the
Hmm.
galaxy. Sometimes we get tired
Yeah.
Right.
and we feel like we're not doing enough.
Wow.
But then the universe will present someone to us to say, I was sitting in your lives, I was in the comments, and y'all didn't know that I wasn't having a good day that day, but y'all really helped me.
Wow.
Those moments, we might not be touching 100 people at a time, but as long as we touch one person at a time, that one person, those ones will turn into 100. So I believe that it is helping, because I have had grown men, grown women, young people feel safe enough to pour their soul out on that platform, to shed tears out on that platform, to tell their trauma
Yes.
stories on that platform. So nobody can tell me, only I can tell me that it's not working.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know you
Yeah.
know what intention is. I know you know what it feels like to
Mhm.
put or the power of
You're a
putting.
little low, brother.
Oh, can you hear me now? Am I up more?
It's still
Say
a
that again.
little bit. Okay.
Am I up a little bit more now?
Yeah, up a little bit
You,
more.
yeah, you still low.
Okay, what about now? How am I now?
It's still low.
No problem. I
I
was
can
Slightly
hear
saying.
you
low.
though. Go ahead.
Okay, my bad. I'm sorry. I don't want to interrupt at all. I was saying I know you know
That's
about
okay.
good intention and putting the right intent into what it is that you're doing. So when it comes to not um, dividing your energy up between a bunch of people and giving it to the correct people, I know you know what that feels like. That's all I was trying to say.
Oh man, let me tell you. I have to use all 55 and a half hundred people that's inside of me to get through the day. That's all I
Okay.
Me
because
too.
Okay,
there
that's
is
a
a
good one.
Me
personality.
too.
Uh-huh.
Look,
Yeah.
there's a
Uh-huh.
personality for each situation, and I use them all. Other than that, I would
Okay.
be in a padded room somewhere.
That part.
Wow. Understood.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Understood.
Leaning on the family, whether it's blood or
Yeah.
whether it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Family does not have to be blood. And we all know that. And the one thing I did definitely love, and I know it still stands, is that the Galaxy of Poets is a family. And
Exactly.
even though I'm here with you, but I'm not here in a way, what that is. But I still feel that love coming through there. That love radiates. I still listen to your lives and everything. That love and that care and just sitting down and talking. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Just
Hmm.
about whatever you need to talk about. You know, I just wanted to let the galaxy know, let you know I am so proud of all of you. It's overwhelming. And I'm glad to have been a part of that. I'm glad to have gotten to know all of you. Truly, sincerely.
I,
And
I
y'all all are a big part of my life.
I appreciate that, and I definitely echo that. You know, the thing that human beings fear the most is change.
Yes.
And
Absolutely.
when someone leaves us and we deal with it with our human emotions, we
Hmm.
don't understand that there's a bigger picture.
Yes.
And regardless if you are still here, like inside the galaxy or not, you're still a piece of the puzzle.
Hmm.
Indeed.
So
Absolutely. Yeah, I get that. I get that. That's
Yes,
family. That's love.
absolutely.
That's
Yeah,
love.
yeah.
I don't know. Look, I can
Wow.
ask questions all night long now. Y'all jump in if y'all have a question while we
Listen,
get going.
listen. The this is like the village. This is like
I'm
being in
just
the
trying not to
village.
interrupt.
Yeah.
I just don't want
You
to interrupt.
Yeah.
understand?
Oh,
This is like
But I
being in the village.
oh yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
you know, we've heard it so many times. It takes a village. I believe is questioning who are the villages. Tonight we
Yeah.
know who the villages are. We are all a part of it, and we stand tall and strong with you, poet, and the family. The Galaxy family. Thank you for all being here. Thank you for those who are here and the whole team. I tell you, it's just amazing, and we need. And I love what you said. Like sometimes you got to utilize all the personalities. So, I
Hmm.
thank you for that. We
indeed.
thank you for that because guess what? I thought it was just me, poet. I
oh
thought it was just
no.
me. Like, okay, what day is it and who am I? I'm just saying,
I'm
Gotta
happy to
that
embrace
see
it.
the.
happens. That's real time.
Hmm.
Sometimes you like, God, who am I? And just like you said, are we, because we're all ministering, we're all leaders and followers of this right, of good mental health
Hmm.
support. And we love that we have this platform together. We love that we have a safe space because there is so many far and few safe spaces these days just for you to be able to have a good morning. Folks are strange to even manners these days. saying good
Very
morning.
true.
Look at you like you got a Scooby Doo moment going on. Like, what?
Ooh, ooh,
Yeah,
oh,
no.
Like, what did you say? And things like that. So things like this, not things, but spaces like this is so equally important and
mhm,
stabilizing for all of us
Mm-hmm.
and so
Yes.
meaningful for all of us. So just like you said, poet, when you reach one, technically you've reached 1,000 to the 10th power of one
Right.
because of the
yeah,
multiplicity of it, the effects and the impact of it. It's reaching far beyond than any of us could even imagine. Just that 1 second of the person coming in, just sitting in, listening to a conversation. This is changing their day, it's changing their week, it's changing their whole life. We just don't know. Some will come
Mm-hmm.
back and
yes,
testify, say, listen, you helped me, and some will just fall back and just relish in the time that it helped them,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
you're still making more than a dent. You are making a serious impact. We in the village. So I thank
Absolutely.
God for being a part of this village and
me
Absolutely.
forth
too.
going and
I'm
just
happy to see all
happy
this melanin,
to
all
see
these
all of
melanated
this
people. That's what I
and
like.
more.
Mhm.
That's the
You
thing.
know, it
Like the
is,
baby.
we
What
have
do the babies
positive.
say? What when the babies ask what color are you? What do they say? Brown. Or
Mm-hmm.
Right.
they
Brown,
describe it all different types of brown, chocolate brown, pudding brown. You understand?
trim
Caramel
brown.
brown. We are all brown and of the sort. And the thing is, when mental health, I heard so many people. We often share this too. So many people say, "Well, I don't have a mental health problem." That we ain't talking about that. We're talking about what affects our ongoing self.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, and poet, you know what you shared with us tonight is just it hit home. It hit home in so many ways how this is in behalf of your child, the journey
Mhm,
that your child went through, the journey that we all passing through, your children,
Mm-hmm.
in reference to your son. He was murdered, and and you're able to be here to share that with us. That's not taken lightly. That's not taken lightly at all, as my Jamaican brother say, at all, um, because that's some
yep.
of our journey. That's some of our journey.
Absolutely.
To just stop at DNA. Thank you for sharing the galaxy's DNA. To just stop its DNA too is a reflection of that. Because
Yeah.
my son went missing for months, and we
Mm-hmm.
found him someplace else in a whole nother county, and
Yeah.
thank goodness we had the support to actually find him and advocate and uh, in the media
Thank you,
with
Michelle.
yours
Thank you, Michelle.
organization. Thank you, Michelle. With Fountain House, they're another mental health support with
Mm-hmm.
different nonprofits and mental health advocates. Just folks off the cuff, just folks off the street was
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
helping to look for my son, whereas the authorities that be never went to look for him.
Right.
I never. It was the first time I ever experienced, poet, the fact that throughout history they never came for us. They never looked for us.
Mm-hmm.
It was the first
Yes.
time I actually really experienced what I read about in history.
Mm,
It came to my yard. It was in my yard. They
But
never went to look for my son.
you know what the thing is, right? History keeps repeating itself because we keep waiting for them to do the job that we can do.
That we
Um,
can.
yeah.
Hmm.
um, we have to get out of our own way
Yeah.
because
Very true. Thank you for
Yeah.
saying that.
Yeah.
Thank
if
you.
we sound
Absolutely.
the alarm, then they don't have a choice but to listen.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
don't wait for them to look. Don't wait like it's so many black and brown people that go missing every day.
Mm.
We don't
Yeah.
Hmm.
hear about it.
Who you telling?
But what if we
Exactly.
had our own network that we could go into action or send people into action when it does happen? And then it'll shine a light on what they're not doing. We keep
Hmm.
trying to make them do what we want them to do.
Mm-hmm.
Shine a light on what they're not doing. Because if they're
Exactly.
Exactly.
not
Yeah.
going to want you to do it, then they're going to have to do it.
Exactly.
That
Yeah.
part.
You're
It's
so
it's
right.
very
You're right, Paul,
clear.
because that's what
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
That's why we here. That's how we landed on Plymouth, on this
Yeah.
Plymouth Rock. And that's
It's
another story.
oh
But this is how we landed here, and we and we've come together in this. And because now now you're talking about tailored mental health support. When you said you were your own, like, you're not an enemy to yourself, but you were sort of like the in between person. Like, okay, are you going to stop it or are you going to start it? The same thing happened to me and to us, and so many. It's happened to all of us in so many ways. So
absolutely.
thank God we arrived here together. We are on the same road. We may be doing it differently, but we are on the same road together, and that's what's
That
making
part.
that's what's making the light shine even brighter. And we didn't expect, because that's how it happened. We all came together, and we're still putting it down for policy change too. So yeah, so we got some more questions for you. What you say, Trey? What you say,
Absolutely.
opulent one? And again,
Well,
family, we thank you.
Oh,
the
you
first
go
thing that
ahead,
I wanted to
Trevor.
say. Okay, Mama, thank you. The first thing I wanted to say is let this be the reminder to everybody that's in the comments, and everybody that's watching me, watching the future, catch this at another time. So, Miss Myra, Miss Nicole, Miss Cheryl, let this be a reminder to all of us that there are Black and Brown people that still are on a positive frequency, that still are trying to see us be more than people on the corner, standing out on the street,
Mm-hmm.
hanging out, chilling, quote unquote, chilling. There are people that are innovative. We do have Black and Brown people that have businesses and have organizations and have mindsets to make greater change. So if you don't see it anywhere else, this is not the biggest platform in the world, but let this show you that there are small spaces that we are having those conversations to elevate. So I just wanted to remind everybody that we do have people like the poet that are on that, and like ourselves, that are on that mission to move forward. So shout out to everybody who for just being in here to hear what's going
Exactly.
on and hear the discussion and support the poet. So that's what I
Exactly.
wanted to
Yeah.
say. Go
Elevating
ahead,
mental health
mommy.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah, elevating
Indeed.
together. Absolutely.
And
Indeed.
these
Go ahead, mommy.
conversations, and these conversations have to be had. We know they're
Mm-hmm.
long
Indeed.
overdue. And I hate to sound like a broken record, but I'm gonna say it and say it and say it again.
Go ahead. Go ahead,
We
opulent
do
one.
we do not talk about mental health. We don't have safe spaces for our men. We do not talk
That
about,
part.
we don't, some of us don't see people of color, I know there's other issues in other communities as well, but I can only speak for the one that I belong to in this moment. That so much is happening, and we're not being honest about it. But then we complain that we're not getting a result, or we are a certain way. We don't
Yes.
talk.
Exactly.
We don't
Yes.
group together anymore as that village that we so strongly speak of. We're
Mm-hmm.
we're not we're that we want to be that village, but we're not behaving and moving along as if we are that. Because you
Right.
know how it
Right.
was, how it used to be. And that's my rant, and that's going to be a segue into what I like to ask the poet next, if y'all don't mind.
Of course.
Um, uh, and I want to get into the good part. What I want to really hear. I
Exactly.
want to hear. Tell us about what shows, okay, and what you have going on now that people can come to. Because I'll say this, we've already talked about what the problem is,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, how are we going to fix the problem? And I believe that there's a lot of shows and different things that you have on the galaxy that help with that people can come to for support.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So what can you let us know what are those shows before we get any further? What are those shows? Where can people find them? What time do they come on? All of that good stuff.
Yeah, fill us in.
And I also, before the broadcast is over, I want you to let us know your I don't know if you call it your panel, because I
Mm-hmm.
know
Your team or whatever you
time
want,
Your
your
team.
yes,
Yeah.
however you
your
want to
right
go, your
hands.
team. That's the right word. I'm sorry, Trey. Thank you. Your team. So
It's okay,
so if we
mommy.
can start from there, I would love to hear it, and I know our
Put your
viewers would love to
put
hear it as
yourself
well.
on while you here. This is a chance
Yeah,
for you
put
to
this.
put yourself on while you here. Let us know who you
Yeah,
are.
this is for you. Let us
Absolutely.
know.
Absolutely. So the Galaxy has mental health check-ins where we do it 3 times a day. In the morning time is 9:30 a.m. and this is going to be all Eastern Standard Times.
All right.
9:30 a.m., 1 p.m., and 9 o'clock p.m. We have different
Okay.
hosts that do mental health check-ins. Now, the mental health check-in can be you coming up to talk. you coming up to do a poem. It's not exclusive to just those that do poetry. If you sing, if you rap, if you dance, whatever you do artistically, you can come on that platform and present it. But we definitely want to have a space where anybody that's going through any type of crisis, and like you said earlier, we're not mental health professionals, but what I always tell people, that we are professionals in living through life. So we are life
Yes.
professors, and what we have gone through, we may can tell someone that is going through what we gone through and the steps that we took, or even the missteps that we took, that it
Mhm.
will help somebody else not go through what we go through. Then we
Exactly.
have
Exactly.
entering the cosmos, pimping poetry. We used to have one called Speak Your Truth, but there's something on the horizon a little bigger than Instagram with Speak Your Truth, where we're going to be actually able to broadcast it locally in Nashville, Tennessee.
That's what's
Uh,
up.
we
That's good.
have in-person events coming up. We'll be in Jersey on February the 10th.
Oh
And
wow.
we do a lot of traveling. We are definitely road warriors. Sometimes it is paid, sometimes it's not, but it does for the passion of the artistry, and it's our therapy. I know it's my therapy,
Mhm.
and I know it's their therapy too, because they always say it. And it's sometimes a lot of people don't like the couch, so we use that
Very true.
stage
Yeah. Yeah.
as our couch where we can present and our feelings and be vulnerable and tell our story. Um,
Exactly.
we are going to be having, there's some slam poetry slams coming up, that it's not, it's under the Galaxy umbrella, but you got the Flame On Sisters and the Flame On Brothers.
Shout them out too.
We will
Oh,
be
Flame on
putting,
Sister.
Flame On Brothers will be putting on a slam April 20th, have $1,000 on the line. Flame On Sisters will be putting on a slam in September. In between both of those, I really want to have a mental health summit where we
Yes.
can have someone
Mhm.
in this summit for every way possible that you can attack mental health, whether it's exercise, whether it's eating right, whether it's holistically, whether it's if it's the traditional therapy, because it's a way to deal with your mental health in on one of those avenues. And also piggyback on something that you guys said. Anyone that think that they don't deal with mental health in some type of capacity,
Hmm.
then they're in the wrong vessel, because any breathing human being deals with mental health. Because as I always give this example, is one thing, crying is part of your mental health.
Of course.
If you if you cry excessively, that's when it goes into anxiety, depression, and all these other stigmas that they put on us. But
Yeah.
everyone,
Exactly.
True.
every
Yeah.
breathing soul deals with mental health in some capacity. Everybody
Mm,
gets sad. Everybody has a bad day. Everybody
yeah.
does this or that. So it all, no, everyone doesn't need medicine. No, everybody is not going to have to
Mhm.
go through therapy. But those that are not in therapy, are you in the gym 5 times a
Right.
week?
Mhm.
That's your therapy.
Exactly. You're doing
So
something else to balance that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So don't look
Yeah.
down on those that seek extra help, because some of us need that extra help.
We
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
do.
We do.
You're right about
Day to
that.
day. Yeah.
I like
Exactly.
people transparent enough to say it. I like to.
Exactly.
I'm glad that we have spaces where people can admit it, whether it be people. And I remember you saying that some our phone conversation we all had behind the scenes
Mhm.
yesterday about people not being able to necessarily say certain things, but when they get a pen in their hand and they're able to write something on a piece of paper, they're able to really and
Oh
truly
yeah.
express themselves and get it out. So I think the start to what we're doing. And what we should be doing as a people is what we're doing now, which is
Right.
having avenues for people to check in, having avenues for people to stop by after work or before they go to work or whatever time you're doing your event, for people to stop by
Exactly.
and be able to get that release and really
Oh
let
yeah.
go of,
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
that's on them, because we
I
don't have enough
Exactly.
of
believe,
that.
You
and you
you know
know,
what you know torture is, yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
on the flip side, I always hold everybody accountable. If
Absolutely.
you're going through something, because I wanna eradicate the stigma that we as a people don't get help. It's not that
Right.
we. It's not that it. It's more in a higher percentage that those of us that do get help, they just want to put the lower percentage on the forefront so we believe that none of us
Yes.
get help. You
Yeah,
see what I'm
Exactly.
Yes.
saying?
The
But
stats. Yeah. In the
you
stats.
have to,
Mm-hmm.
if you're
absolutely.
going through something, it is also your responsibility to reach out to those that you know are going to shelter you, that are going
Yes.
to pour into you. That why
Yes.
will you put yourself in a situation where it's not going to be someone pouring into you positive with positive energy? They're going to be pouring into you with negative energy. Why would
Mm-hmm.
you make that phone call or go to that space when there are spaces out here? There's hotlines out here. There's so many resources out here for you to
Mm-hmm.
use. So you have to have the responsibility on you too to reach out to those that you know will listen to you, regardless if
Very
you got
true.
to scream,
Yeah.
cry. As long as you're not doing something to harm yourself or others,
Mm-hmm.
then you have to be responsible for reaching out.
Yeah.
That
You
part.
have to. And
That
feeling
part.
comfortable to do it and feeling like it's okay to do it. You know, that you don't know there's a problem um until you realize it's a problem. So if it's not a
Ex-
problem for you, then you don't think
Exactly.
you got a problem.
Exactly.
But you mentioned before, when you're at the level of doing things where you're not functioning properly, you're not practicing self-care, you're not eating, you're not doing any of those things, or however it shows itself,
Mm-hmm.
then that's when you need to go see somebody or seek some other intervention. And let me dare say this, and agree with me or not, it's not always family, and it's not always
Yeah.
a certain therapist. You got to find a
Mm-hmm.
right fit with that too, for you to get. But seeking help and feeling like it's okay, you don't have those stigmas on you. And when I mention that, sometimes us and certain people, you don't get that support, because it's like, okay, well, if you're unhappy, you go do something to make you happy. It don't work that way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or you need to go and pray more. You're not praying more.
Hmm.
No, sometimes you need to get in there and you need to see somebody, and you
Mm-hmm.
need to see a doctor. Period.
Mm-hmm.
And
See,
Mm-hmm.
but that's why.
you shouldn't be shamed for that. That's how I
Mm-hmm.
feel.
See, but that's
You
why I
know?
like to give a little praise to people like him, because we're
Yeah.
creating those spaces, more spaces to say it's okay. So the more people that we can have to create their
Mm.
own space of any kind, you might have a sip and paint, you might have
Yeah.
a builder's class, it might be
Yeah.
like a boys and girls, because you know how I was in Companion Center, for instance, but there was a boys and
Yeah.
girls club. So you'll have like
Hmm.
programs that teach men how to tie their ties and how to be presentable, or older people how to,
Hmm.
go for interviews and how to look the part and how to do those things. So I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like we're in the right direction, especially in 2024, for me to keep hearing about more and more black and brown people that have something going on, whether it's out there or not. But whether you got 10 views or 15 or 25 or 100,
Hmm.
I just feel
Hmm.
like, I like highlighting people like him that have a space that creates more,
I do
ability to speak your
too.
piece and feel like you
Yeah, I
can
do
talk.
too. I do
Yeah.
too. And it's a
Absolutely.
wonderful thing. It's a wonderful thing to see what you are doing and what your team is doing and how you have grown. I cannot express that enough. And I'm telling you, I came in personally during the rough time of my journey. And
Mm-hmm.
to be able to do things for the first time and have people to talk to and have, and make my poetry better and have somebody even listen to that. meant the world to me. And that is what, you just don't know what you're doing for people,
I appreciate
Exactly.
that.
and I'm just proud of it. I'm just so proud of it. I'm overwhelmed.
And I
I
got
Um,
really appreciate that.
yep. I'm sorry.
Oh no, no,
I'm
I'm
sorry.
just trying to make sure I jump in without, jumping over anybody or cutting anybody off. I wanted to
It's
ask. Now,
okay.
we obviously everything we have so many positive things that are coming out of a couple of your movements, but I want to
Yeah.
know whether it be, what is one of those things that, it could have been something negative someone was going through, but what is one of those one comments someone said to you, whether it was negative or positive, that really had an impact on what you're doing, whether it was a learning lesson, whether it was like a mistake you could have made. What is one of those questions, or comments from someone that just really stood out to you, whether it was good or bad, doesn't matter
You
which one.
know, you know, when they say the stars align, so it's not even a statement, um, or a question. It's the fact that men still have to. Now, I'm not taking nothing away from my sisters, but it's the fact
Hmm.
that men still have to live in a world where vulnerability is not
Mm,
accepted.
mm,
Yeah.
Um,
mm-hmm,
and I seen something on Instagram early. Was it? I think it was earlier, and it actually inspired me to write a piece. Um, but like we gotta hold everybody accountable. It's not.
Mm,
It's you'll
true.
if if I have time to share it, you'll understand what I'm saying. Uh, in the piece itself, but like they hold they hold men accountable for abuse, for the things that we may do to our counterparts. But when is our counterparts going to start holding those that are
mm-hmm.
like them accountable?
Exactly.
Because it's
Yeah.
not just
Yeah.
women that go through domestic abuse.
Very true.
Exactly. Yes. Yes.
So that's another way to divide. Yes, you got to have your own space to be able to release that. But where is the space for us to start having that hard conversation of like, okay, if a man raises hand to a woman, then he
Mm-hmm,
this or he that.
mm-hmm.
When is it going to be the same thing when a woman raised their hand to a man?
Right. When can we
Exactly.
touch on all points? When
And it
we get to that point
happens.
where we actually
Yeah.
speak on everything around the situation, around
Exactly.
the problem, that part.
So it's
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, like
Absolutely.
I it just we have to be able to have them hard conversations, just like they have created the narrative. Oh, the black woman is the most hated and disrespected in America. Then they say no, it's an argument. No, it's the black man that's the most. How about it's both of us? Both of us was in
Yes, it
slavery.
is. Oh yeah.
Both
Absolutely.
of us got taken advantage of. Both of us was hung. Both of us have taken the same steps from our ancestors to right now. So why are we still divided in that conversation?
Yes.
Exactly.
And when
Exactly.
Yeah.
we're
And
not going to
So
yeah.
ever
true.
grow. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Queen. Go ahead.
Yeah. This is now we deep diving, and that's good. Because when you become accountable, you deep dive. You deep dive for the answers. You question for the
Mhm.
answers, because we find answers in questions, and we ask questions that produce answers. So many times, people don't ask questions. This is a general statement. However, with something like this, people don't want to be questioned because they know they will have to be accountable somewhere,
Yeah.
sometime. So
I,
it does take both. This is not, this is not. I could feel some people saying, this is not gender. Gender. we're not talking about gender. We're talking about accountability on
Yeah, it's
both
not gender
parts.
specific.
It's just
Yeah.
not
True.
gender specific, family. So you understand it's okay. Because if we don't become accountable from both ends, it will it will just it's already spiraling and of the sort, and it's also a part
Mhm.
of most people are passing through specific mental health illnesses. It's because of instances like that. It's because of people who have not become accountable. I've had stories, I've heard stories, stories have been shared with me since the outcome of this passageway to hear
Mm,
about women who are physically abusive to their men. And
mm,
because the stigma has been uh, hung over their head, yeah, if you hit a woman, it's going to be a problem. Of course, we're talking about treating each other as a
hmm.
human being. No
Yeah.
man or woman should hit physically abusive or mentally abuse one each other, verbally abuse each
Mm-hmm.
other,
Mm-hmm.
psychologically
Yeah.
abuse each other. There's so many bells and whistles to that part.
Absolutely.
So, yes, accountability is one of the keys to becoming mentally healthy. Because, yes, this happened to all of us, and it's still amazingly, and it's so sad that it's still affecting us. That behavior. So the bottom line is behavior. We change our behavior, we change the mindset, and we come together and we continue to battle against it. It can't be acceptable. Too many times it's acceptable. Being a baddie or whatever you call it is acceptable. No, it's not. No, it's not. And I have to say, no,
I
it's
just
not.
didn't.
Just
I didn't
because it's
expect you to
trendy.
say that. So.
What? It's so
Right.
many
Limited.
things linked to our how we behave. And once it's acceptable, then it's taken into our spirit, and then we act out on it. So when
Yes.
it
Absolutely.
becomes
Yeah.
unacceptable, then you're able to train the mind, train the body, and train your
Mhm.
spirit to not accept it and do something about it. Change the
Exactly.
policy of it. And
Yeah.
that's where good mental health comes in. I'm just saying,
Exactly.
family.
Thank you, Miss Cheryl. I see my Miss
Mm-hmm.
Cheryl
Hmm.
made a comment. Don't want to cut you off, Queen. I just want to acknowledge people as soon as they come in. So I'm sorry if I'm not
Absolutely.
speaking on your
No, I
comments as
see.
soon as they come up. But first
Absolutely.
thing Miss
Yes.
Cheryl said was, it doesn't make a man weak to admit that he's been abused. It happens so often because men are ashamed to come forward about it. Yes,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
because we all know you consider to be weaker, or you're looked at like, what's your problem if you can't,
Right.
quote unquote,
Oh
control
yeah.
your woman or your wife or your house or
Right.
whatever. And it's so much that
Mhm.
comes with that. The second thing she said was, so many men are mentally abused and are ashamed to talk about it. We need these conversations, and I think so too.
Yes.
So
Yes.
luckily, the
And we
people
will
Yeah.
like
have more.
yes, luckily the people like the poet, people that we can, he can hold events and we can get to them, and it's local, and we can reach those things. I would love to have some type of party that's kind of like a silent party, where the whole
Hmm.
room is quiet and everyone has earphones in, so it's like everyone's forced to listen to that one person that gets to speak, because we have too many spaces and times where people want to voice their opinion. Everybody is shouting for what the world is doing to them. Everybody wants to shout out and be heard, obviously,
Yeah.
about what the world is doing to them. But at the same time, we're often interrupted because people's feelings and things that they had to deal with are put to the wayside for someone else's emotions. So I want
Mm-hmm.
some type of something, poet. I'm speaking to you. I want some type of something where we can. I wish I could, put a piece of tape over everybody's mouth when they enter, and only the speaker can speak, or something like that, so that
I
people can
mean,
really have the.
I've taken on. I'm the one that I believe that is meant to talk about these hard subjects. I'm one of the
Yeah,
ones to talk
yeah,
about these hard subjects, because if we don't start the conversation, then it will never be an issue that is solved.
Yeah.
exactly.
Um, if
Yes.
if men continue to feel like, oh, I'm this or that if I speak up,
Exactly.
we're not going to solve the problem.
Exactly.
Yeah.
hmm
So,
Miss
Exactly.
Miss Nicole said, "Call it one mic session." She gonna be, look. You got people
Oh,
around you,
all
your
right
advisors,
now.
your team.
oh
All
Look,
yes,
right
I
now.
don't know,
One
Miss
mic
Nicole.
session.
I like
They
speaking
already
stuff
set
for
it
Miss
up.
Nicole, so you never know. Yeah, so
Yeah,
you
I
never
like
look.
that too.
Exactly.
Originator of the, yeah, a part of the bloodline. Look, you
the
got the
thing
first
the
say
thing
so.
is
All
the
right
thing
now.
Miss
is
Nicole right there.
All right, Miss
the
Nicole. We appreciate that.
The thing
that is
is that
wonderful. That
Yeah,
is
and
wonderful.
listen, men, don't hesitate. Don't hesitate. Don't
it's
hesitate.
it's not enough.
It's
It's
Yeah, it's
exactly.
that's
not
what the
enough.
problem is.
Yeah.
It's not enough for those to feel comfortable enough to say, you know what, I'm okay with being vulnerable.
Hmm.
Exactly.
I'm okay be only because it has been drilled in us. You can't
Yes.
Hmm.
cry. If you cry, you're a little girl. If it's if it,
Yeah.
Hmm.
like no, that's like crying is part of a human experience. So
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
men and women are not different when it comes to emotions. We have to be able to release our emotions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's
Exactly.
just that
Exactly.
simple.
Yeah.
Your masculinity is questioned consistently. You know,
Unfortunately, yeah.
Hmm.
if you do something, you know, like you just said, your under the whole thing, your masculinity is questioned all the time.
Yeah.
If a woman is abusing you, it's not even considered abuse. It's like you just can't keep control.
You
You know,
just can't.
older
Yeah.
folks would say you henpeck. You know, you're
Exactly.
Yeah.
weak. You know, why you let
Hmm.
her do that? You know,
Would y'all
all those type of things.
would y'all like
So,
to hear what I wrote?
Yeah.
Yes.
oh,
Definitely would.
absolutely. Hey,
Absolutely
Absolutely.
would.
Yes.
yes,
Yes.
sir.
Let me make you solo
Yes.
screen. Everybody mute their mics, please.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Why they always act like abuse goes one way? Like feminine hands don't abuse masculinity. Like, mentally, physically, spiritually turn them down, financially making them feel like they don't have the right to wear the crown. Accountability does not arise when she has fire in her eyes and raises her hand to a man. Oh, he's a man. He must have done something to make her violent. Excuses. Sister lips becomes silent. Their eyes become judgmental. How can a man be part of the Me Too movement? Damn. A woman cannot be a pervert as long as she moves with covert actions, but the victim continues to be victimized because he's on the opposite side of the double X. Why? Is it okay for her to be the X that marks his spots? I mean, bruises. It's because he lied, he cheated, so he deserved the beating, but the excuses could never be on the other foot. Man, you better not raise your hand to hit that woman. You a sucker if you struck her. You a bitch is what you would be labeled as. I ask, when did accountability become so sexist? She's supposed to be teaching him about mathematics, but only interested in being hands-on sexual educator, I mean predator, making little boys become aliens to the world, and the world condemns the man for being so cold after a woman stole his innocence from his soul. Bold of you to continue to point out the discrepancies of man, but your sister gets a pass. This is a conversation that they don't want us to have because we live in a world where people turn a blind eye to the vulnerability of a man. How can we heal if we have to stand 10 toes down in our trauma? We can't. They tell us only little girls cry. Toughen up, be a man, and just get over it. Sometimes we listen to the voices right before we die by suicide. But y'all go ahead and keep on letting this ride. Paul.
Woo! Now, ladies and
That part.
gentlemen, that's how
Well,
you do it.
look, just like look, Miss Athea, I don't want to say your name wrong, but just like she said, woo, that's one of them joints.
Woo!
Look, That's
Hey,
one of
hey, Trayvon.
those.
Yeah, Trayvon, ladies and gentlemen, now that's how you
Yes,
do the thing right
one of
there.
them
Wow.
wants to make you. You just it hits where it needs to
You're
hit,
like,
and it just make you
ooh,
do that face because
I love it. Thank you so
yeah,
much for sharing that with
you're right about
us,
that. Thank
all
you.
of us.
Absolutely. Yes,
He's
yes,
Taking
speaking
the
yes.
time
truth,
to want to
y'all.
read it.
He's
That
speaking
part.
Yes. I
truth. I done told
mean,
y'all.
Yeah,
how can a man be a part of the Me Too movement? That right there, that part.
exactly. Because we
Sisters
don't have
getting
the
a
So,
spaces.
pass.
yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
sisters getting a pass. That part.
yeah,
Mm.
10 toes down in our trauma. That part.
yeah. So y'all,
Wow.
y'all see, we got so much work to do in this thing now.
Yes, we
There's so
do. And
many.
it's a good thing.
That's that onion. That's that onion I keep telling
Oh,
y'all
yeah.
about.
Oh,
That
There's
yeah.
so many
part.
layers in that onion that needs to be addressed, and we got to be honest about it
Yes.
and raw as we can about it.
Yes.
Absolutely.
As
Accountability.
long as you don't, and there's no accountability, there's no responsibility, there's nothing, then how
Exactly.
you going to address a problem you don't want to talk about? So thank you
Exactly.
Exactly.
so much for sharing that,
Thank you,
poet.
poet. Thank you, poet.
We needed
You
that.
know,
Thank
yeah.
y'all.
And it's also a part of when you talked about accountability, it made me mindful of the HIPAA policy, mental
Hmm.
health HIPAA policy law, the Accountability Act, of course, Privacy Rule 45, 164, 150, which gives is
Hmm.
supposed to give families opportunities when a person is mentally incapacitated or
Hmm.
medically incapacitated, giving families, should I say, mental health, giving families the opportunity to open a conversation, to openly communicate with the medical team. Sometimes that doesn't happen because of these other barriers, such as sisters getting a pass. I'm just saying, you understand, such as these things, not these layers haven't been peeled back and addressed. I'm just saying. So yeah,
Yes.
we got to get through policy change. We got to get through identifying the problem. We are on a quest to develop these positive mental health conversations using our
Yes.
platforms. And this is
Absolutely.
more than good. We are past go. We are past go. We have now exited the promised land and we making a new pathway. You understand? We passed the promised land thing. Thank God for Dr. King and our forefathers. However, we are
Hmm.
we are making some new stuff happen. We are changing. We are changing the trajectory. We're changing the narrative on how it happens. Thank you, poet.
That
Absolutely.
Thank you,
part.
Thank
poet.
you.
All
Thank you for the
stars shine. You
transparency.
shining bright.
Hey,
Absolutely.
the word of the day is
Absolutely.
wisdom. For my mom, the word of the day
Wisdom.
is
Wisdom.
wisdom. Mama G, as y'all
Thank you,
call her.
opulent one. Thank you, Mama
Wisdom.
G.
You're
Thank you for the
welcome.
transparency. Thank you for everybody who
Yes.
stopped by to support the poet. Thank you for anybody who checks this out later. Obviously, in
And
the
most
future,
of all, yes,
anything that you want to go by in the future as far as tickers on the bottom of the screen. For instance, you guys caught some of the quotes. Obviously, we're welcoming our guest, the poet, rolling across the screen. But any future information that you want to just roll by as we're doing other shows and talking about other subjects, we would love to be able to share it. This
Yes.
is just stop it. So, I appreciate the transparency. Thank you for giving us your time. I wanted to say that.
Thank
yes,
you. I
Yep.
yes.
appreciate you
Thank you so
guys.
much.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And thank you, family, everybody who passed through tonight. Just want to shout out to everybody who was who came through tonight. I don't want to miss
Yep.
any names,
Miss
but we
Myra,
see you. We saw you,
Miss
Miss
Nicole.
Galaxy in the
Myra.
building.
Yeah.
Miss
That part, the
Nicole is
galaxy is in the
the
building.
Galaxy's in the house tonight.
Yes.
Joy in the house tonight.
Shout out to
Joey in the
Joy
house.
Joy.
Ariel, exactly,
Hmm.
Yes.
and
Miss
Ariel in the
Myra,
house
Miss
tonight.
Nicole, and Miss
Yes, Miss
Yes.
Cheryl,
Nicole,
and
Miss
yes,
Meyer, Miss Michelle,
Miss
and because I see
Althea.
you guys
Yep.
on Facebook too, Miss Althea.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely, we
Facebook,
guys see you on
YouTube.
Facebook as well, YouTube. So listen, we appreciate you. We do not take this for granted. We are the village. We are the village voice right
Absolutely.
here.
Hmm.
We are the voice crying
Hmm.
out in this wilderness, and we are changing stuff. We're changing it, and all stars shine. It may not shine at one time, but they're shining, and
Hmm.
that's all that matters. So listen, we gonna be up
Absolutely.
out of here. And again, we shout out
Thank you,
to
Miss Cheryl.
my big sister, Miss Margaret.
My grandmother.
Shout out to my big
My
sister.
mother.
Yes,
She's gonna watch after
exactly,
this.
Yeah.
We're
Definitely.
all
exactly.
involved.
Yeah.
We're all
Exactly.
involved.
Yes,
I'm,
yes.
I'm sorry to
And
interrupt. Poet, do you have any shout outs or anything that you would like
Yes.
to give to anybody and give you the opportunity as well?
Man, look, I just want to thank those that stopped by, those that are here to see this. Definitely a shout out to the Galaxy. We can't do it by ourselves.
exactly.
Shout out yourself
That
because
part.
you are a work in progress, and those that know that they have a continuous job to do on themselves, then you are definitely on your healing journey. So shout out to you.
Yes. Absolutely.
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 Thank you
That I
so
Absolutely.
definitely
much.
appreciate.
Yes, yes, yes.
Thank you so
Wow.
much for coming by,
Absolutely.
for sharing time with us, for having these hard discussions that we all definitely need. I'm so glad that you came by. And again, my shout out to everybody. Thank everybody for viewing this now, viewing it later, taking
Hmm.
in the information that was discussed tonight and doing something with it because we all got to strengthen our village. So
Yes.
Yes.
yes, I definitely appreciate each and every one of you that took your time to come spend time with us.
Miss Cheryl wanted to
Absolutely.
tell you that she had an awesome interview, Poet, and she says she's proud of you. Obviously, your daughter, the princess of the bloodline, is definitely going to let you know that she loves you. So she gave you a heart. They both
Yes.
said awesome.
I appreciate
Well
that.
needed, much needed discussion. Miss Georgia was saying. Shout out to Joy Joy. But thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
y'all. I really
V.
Thank
appreciate it.
you.
Exactly. Thank you guys. Thank you. Wow. And listen, don't hesitate to come by at the pit stop on Wednesday night. We still got it going on Wednesday night at the pit stop. Tell them, Trayvon.
So the pit stop, 7:30 to 8 o'clock, is just a quick, just like I said, the pit stop is a platform that is just a quick conversation. I expect people to stay maybe 2 or 3 minutes. There's no pressure behind how long you choose to stay. Just like we've been saying, just like the poet has said, whoever it reaches. I'm personally over mass producing to people that see your content anyway. They know it's there. You see the numbers. They might not compare to what people are double tapping or the comments that you have, but you know that people see what you have. So what I said about intention, when you cast energy off to the right people and the people that are meant to receive it, it's going to do all that it needs to do right on time. So
Exactly.
Absolutely.
that's what I
Exactly.
have to say. So the pit
Absolutely.
stop,
Exactly.
30-minute little session on Wednesdays from 7:30 to 8 Eastern Standard Time. The pit stop.
Exactly. Yes. Now, so here we are. Once again, we
Yeah.
love you like no other as God does and more. We're here making this journey together, right?
That
All
part.
right.
Yes.
And
Absolutely.
listen, we're coming back for a series with your poet. We
That
coming
part.
back,
I'm ready.
family.
I'm
Oh
ready.
yeah,
More
we coming
deep
Yes.
back. We've
conversations.
got to have some more deep dives into this right here because we've got to live healthier and live longer and live
Hmm.
well. And that's what
Absolutely.
Yes.
matters most. So this week is gonna be much better than next week. We look forward. We look forward to
Hmm.
better days ahead, right?
All
So
right.
Hmm.
family, stay well, stay healthy, and listen, don't hesitate to reach out. We are here for you. All right. Much
That
love,
part.
Yes.
much
Good
joy,
night, y'all.
and peace.
Good night.
Good
Peace.
night.
See y'all later. All
All
right,
right
y'all.
now.
See you
Thank you,
later.
mommy. All
You're
right.
welcome, baby.
The poet, y'all. Have a good night.
Something to buy, da ba da bun, yeah. Da ba da bum, ba buy, da bum, buy, da bum, ba, yeah. Set the potato, da buy, da. Boy, yeah. Da, boy, yeah. Sunlight that always stays. Dinner by the waterway. It's that sweet life. Raise your cross. Made some dude crack a smile. He asked if I could stay a while. I'm living that high life. Time to catch a flight, but you can make me go. unlocking all the memories. Something to buy, yeah. Set the potato, boy, sunlight that always stays, dinner by the waterway. It's that sweet life. Raise your cross. Made some dude crack a smile. He asked if I could stay a while. I'm living that high life.